Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a blockbuster of a model launched in 2020 by the independent Czapek. This is the Antarctique Passage de Drake Ice White, the company's entry into the world of integrated bracelet steel sports watches. It should be noted that Czapek, a revived name from the 19th century, was only reborn in 2015, so it has caught up with modern tastes and trends very quickly, to the extent that this watch is competitive with the best from Patek, from Audemars Piguet, from Vacheron, and from Lange. And in many regards, the Antarctique is even better. So in stainless steel, 40.5 millimeters in diameter, you can see that it's only 11.1 millimeters thick, which is another one of those impressive features. Lug-to-lug case alone, the watch is 44.5 millimeters. If we include the end link of the bracelet on each side, then the total lateral distance across the wrist is 50 millimeters. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is oval and 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see how nicely it wears. Now, it comes with a separate accessory rubber strap, as well as a little jig that makes mounting that strap easy. So you do get the bracelet as well as a rubber strap when you buy this watch. You can see it's easily flat enough to fit underneath the cuff, and it's sufficiently narrow across the wrist that I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Easy to wear, very comfortable. The ergonomics are superb. Now, taking a quick look at the bracelet, there's a few highlights here. Integrated, of course, the case blends into the lugs, blends into the bracelet. There's a pronounced taper all the way down toward the clasp. You can see that we have here removable links, and many of them, including two intermediate-sized links. Instead of being half a size, these are a size and a half. Those can be used just in case you're in between sizes when sizing the bracelet. There is a rotary release system on the bottom. You turn this little key and it releases the bracelet. So there's a quick release system allowing you to easily swap between this steel bracelet and the strap. Of course, there's also a tool to assist, but you can do it entirely with your fingernails if you like. The watch includes a small crown guard structure flanking the crown itself. It is a screw-down crown. The watch is 120 meters water resistant. There you can see the founding year of the original Czapek company. And then also note the combination of polishing and media blasting there. The remainder of the case is a combination of polish and satin brushed finish. You can see that the case band is nicely evacuated, a little bit like a Moser. Not exactly the same, but the same kind of intent to add depth to the case profile. The bezel has a short vertical lip. It's stepped in from the case band to thin out the apparent profile of the case. Then we have a polished bezel and conical profile with a dramatically boxed sapphire over a dial that is described as ice white. And that's not my terminology. It is literally the ice white. The dial pattern is what Czapek calls the stairway to eternity. You can see it has a wonderful quality of playing with the light, so you wind up with highlights and lowlights for contrast. We have individual indices applied and faceted. We have hands down the center. All of this is illumined. You can see that there's a track outboard, and it is a stepped track, stepped up. It has little polished pips that can be used for counting individual minutes and seconds. We'll do a loom shot here. Steel, loomed, automatic, 120 meters water resistant. This is a true sports watch. We also have some subsidiary setting modes. Of course, we've got a hacking or stop seconds function. Stop the watch, set it to the second against a reference time. We also have a quick set system, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Also, take note, the font used for that 2 is the font used for this 2. Little details like this matter on watches. You'll also appreciate there's a small amount of color on the dial in the form of the tip of the seconds hand and the index at 12. Turning it all over, a worthy movement. You can see this is the SXH-05 automatic winding, designed by high-end watchmakers Daniel Martinez and Emmanuel Boucher. Boucher in particular is famed for creating the Harry Winston Opus 12, so the pedigree of this movement impressive. Here we have a lot of handsome elements. You could see that there is a satination across the tops of the partially skeletonized bridges, and then within their recesses, as well as on the bridges and the base plate, we have media blasting. There's also first-rate beveling. You could see it lighting up mirrored on the edge of these little finger-style bridges, a little nod to the pocket watch era and the wristwatch era, as we have these individual bridges leading down to the escapement. You could see that there is a solarization on the base of the rotor featuring media blasting, beveling, and then satination on its top. You can see there's a bridge at center, and it features black polish across its top. It is made of steel. It is beveled on its sides, and then you can see externally there are 2 sharp inward angles, and then internally there are 4 additional sharp inward angles where bevels meet. The beveling here is world class. It is an automatic winder with a 56-hour power reserve. It has 5 positions of adjustment, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. All this pivots on 28 joules. It beats way at an aesthetically pleasing rate of 4 hertz. You like to see that on a sports watch. Slow is beautiful on a dress watch, but fast is beautiful on a sports watch because it reduces the effects of impact and concussion on the timing of the watch. So too do the combination of a full dual-anchored balance bridge and a free-sprung balance. That makes the movement tougher against shock, and you can see that all the screw heads have been black polished impressively. This is the best finishing we've seen on a Czapek movement to date. If you love this watch, and I can easily understand why you would, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. One more thing I wanted to highlight, I couldn't get it in focus before, but you can see that we have a platinum micro rotor, which is mechanically optimal because of its mass. It's the most efficient material for a micro rotor winding system. Also, you'll note it is 100% recycled, because who among us has not seen highways strewn with discarded trash platinum or giant gyres of swirling discarded platinum in the Pacific Ocean? Recycling indeed.